I lost my home and my studio and most of my archive of artwork from over 20 years of art making, 25 years of art making. I didn't have off-site storage. So the work that was consigned with galleries was preserved, or that is in the hands of collectors was preserved, but anything that I had was burned up. My name is Camilla Taylor. I'm an artist here in Los Angeles, and I'm also an art professor at UCLA and Occidental College. I saw the fire on the mountain above the canyon, and I saw it getting bigger and moving as I got closer to home. And because there was no internet, and there was no cell phone service, and there was no power in Altadena by then, it was about 9:45, my partner wasn't answering the phone. So I didn't know if he was home, I didn't know if he had gotten out. So I decided to go home and find out and make sure. And I got home and I ran inside and there was no power. And I said, we have to go. And he said, okay. And we grabbed the cats and we got in the car and we got out and we didn't get anything from our home. I was home for maybe 10 minutes before we left. And that night our house burned down. Everything that has happened to me has laid bare what would normally be a very personal circumstance. For my partner and I, this was the only property we had ever owned. And now that's gone. And so much of our savings and personal wealth was represented by that home and that property, and now it's this pile of ash. There's also these pink ribbons tied to every site because the houses are gone. So to a tree or to a post, whatever is left on each property, and they're pink with black polka dots, and it looks like a thing you would wrap a present with, and it's to indicate that they have searched for dead bodies. Yesterday I went up because they're gonna come, the Army Corps of Engineers is gonna come through and just clear everything off the site because it's so toxic that it's, we shouldn't handle it. But still, I suited up in like a hazmat suit and a respirator and goggles, and I sifted through to find any remains of sculptures, and if I didn't want to keep it, I just completely smashed it. Because it felt like so much of your autonomy as a person and as an artist is taken away by it, that I wanted to control now what happened to this artwork. If anything would have survived, you would think that a kiln would survive. But the heat was so hot that the components of the roof melted and then melted into the kiln. And then the kiln collapsed because the foundation collapsed underneath it. All I want to do is get back to making work. I feel like the way I deal with stress is by being in the studio and working. It's maybe a toxic Protestant work ethic, but during COVID, I was working 12 hours a day in the studio. That's what I wanted to do, but I've had such a hard time getting back. I keep thinking about individual objects and then remembering that they're gone, thinking that I'll use something or that I had a plan to use it in a sculpture, and then remembering, oh, that's gone. Or a tool that I want to use and then remembering that it's gone, or a book that I was looking forward to reading. The outpouring of support and organization from the art community has been incredible. To see how people have organized to help each other, to rebuild and to try to regain studio and equipment or just clothing. I don't really know how to put it into words how inspiring it's been. And the art community at large, I'm so grateful to be part of this community right now. I think we're always lucky that we have this purpose in life as artists.
It was an entire lifetime of collecting books, art, making art. I mean, this was my absolute indoor, outdoor, creative shrine. My name is Laura Parker, and I am an artist and a resident here in Altadena with my husband, Branislav. He is an engineer at California Institute of Technology, and I am an artist from the California Institute of the Arts. It's very weird to look in that direction and know that at the very bottom of all of this rubble are things, you know, that I saved from the very beginning of my relationship with photography. When I saw how orange the glow was coming from basically right across the canyon from us, I went into, I would call sort of a panic. I was not calm. I just knew that the first thing I had to do is wrangle the cats, because even though my artwork is infinitely important to me, our kitties are, I don't have children by choice, and I'm happy to have a couple of kitty cats. And then I also went downstairs to my studio, and I decided I was going to take the risk of grabbing two more things that had to do with my work, and that was an old Leica M4 camera that I hadn't used in about 30 years, but it was circulating because I was loaning it to my colleagues. And then I also went into my office and grabbed the hard drive, and it would have whatever of my analog work I scanned on it, and I'm really hoping more than that. It took, over 2 weeks to be allowed to step foot on this property, which was, in a way, it was just as well. I kind of didn't want to come and see it that quickly. I don't think I was ready until I finally came back, and I think it's made my life very chaotic right now, but I'm kind of waiting for the more, the sad, cathartic piece to kick in, and it has not. I honestly have been so numb to this loss that I have not shed one damn tear, and I'm finding it upsetting because I would like to just break down and, bawl my eyes out about this loss, but I guess I'm still just, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I knew fire was almost an inevitability. I just didn't think it would be such a catastrophe, not only for us, but for a whole town. Someday it's gonna make me cry, and I'm just waiting for those tears to come, and I guess I just have to be patient.